Hello, hello. Waiting for a few minutes, see if anybody jumps in here.
I think we're doing pretty good switching times because I got
Yeah,
right at 300, if not over, likes on mine Thursday. How much? How many did you get?
I didn't go. Remember, I didn't. I missed last week's.
Mm, that's right.
Hey, Tony, our cabin in the woods. Boy, I love that camping spot you guys had. I
Oh,
wouldn't want to go home after that.
well,
How you doing, Nate? What life? Er,
in here. You are.
yeah. Hey, Chef
Hello,
Kicker. Oh boy.
hello, Miss Chef Kicker. How you doing this afternoon? Hey, you got
Oh
heroic.
no, heroics back in New Jersey.
Oh God, you better hold your breath while you pass through. Oh,
So I hope you had a good vacation, heroic. And the question is, will you guys be moving to Georgia?
it's telling me Bushcraft and Bear Show was live now.
Well, at least I know you're getting a notification. You know what's funny?
What's that?
I didn't get a notification.
Oh, come on, and it's your show.
Yeah,
Dang. Oh, come
and
on, people. Hit that like button.
I kind of want to talk about one thing before we do get started. Um, last week I did a video, and
Trigger
my
warning.
inbox blew up, and majority of them was very rude, bad comments and emails and all that stuff. It's the one with the trial that just came over that overturned something that's only going to the states. The states are dealing with it. Now, I I did my what I believe. I don't believe in abortion. There's only rare instances, um, life threatening, and it should be the mother and the father, or the woman and the husband's decision, or if it's just the mother.
I'm
Um,
right there with you.
Incest, and I'm not going to say the other thing. It starts with an R. I probably shouldn't have said that either, but that's my belief, and that's why we have these things. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I'm not mad at people that don't agree with something I say, but you don't you don't send me a bunch of hate stuff. um, yeah, just because I don't believe the same thing you do, I think it's they're missing the whole purpose of your right to believe what you want to believe, and
Hello,
that's
sis. Yeah.
pretty much how I go about it. Me, I would never think about doing that. One of my kids, there was a risk of my wife getting uh, dying from the pregnancy, and we talked about it, and she was like, I don't care what happens, if I don't make it, you're going to take care of the baby and whatnot. And the baby was fine, my wife was fine at the time, and we we had four other kids. So yeah, it's to me, it's up to, if it's a life threatening thing, a doctor will tell you, they'll say, "Oh, we don't think you're going to make it," that type of thing. But that's still, I still wouldn't do it. It's just one of that's the way I believe. Okay,
Bushcraft,
yeah,
I'm gonna stand right there with you. I agree with what you said 100%.
hmm
You know, and there's something else I need to say right quick. There was something else that we talked about on my channel about groups. I'm not going to come out and say what it was,
oh,
but I got an email from a young lady. I won't say her name. One thing I can't remember it. But she made it very clear to me. In other words, she changed my mind. And it was about starting up a mag and everything, and why I need to look at taking the people who's not married or like that in. And I sat there and I thought about it, and my mind got changed on that. So if I hurt anybody's feelings, I highly apologize on that. Okay, your show. Take
hey
it
Rose,
away.
got Brian in here kicking it, and Homestead Aquarius. Um,
Hit that like button.
hey, Homestead Aquarius. How many videos should we be at right now? End of June. I don't know if I'm ahead or behind. um, yeah, today I wanted to go over just some basic steps for beginning preppers, and ways how we started and stuff like that. Well, I didn't start being a prepper really. Um, I just wanted to store a bunch of food so I didn't have to go to the store. uh, but yeah, but now there's people that directly want to begin to start prepping, and um, yeah, if I was just like, woo, oh no, things are bad now, well, I need to go prep. Um, oh, at least okay. Well, I'm at 7 so far, so I should be good. But yeah, if I was like to, I finally woke up and said, "Oh crap, I don't think we're going to have food for very long. I need to start prepping." But how do you do it? um, and I guess what the first thing I think I would do would um, start getting rid of things that you don't need. Um, Cable TV. I know it's hard sometimes, but there's a lot of free stuff on like Roku, and um, Jeff uses the Fire Stick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of TV, and
I got
you
both.
have uh, you have YouTube, you have the internet. There's a lot of stuff that you can watch and whatnot. Uh, but like we did this on 101s one time, um, to see how much subscriptions people had. It's like cable and um, different
Yeah.
subscription things. And you sit there, save a lot of money cutting a lot of that stuff out. Um, make your own coffee. I know there's probably nobody here that does the well. Heroic might do it. Go to Starbucks every day and get the fancy pink flamingo coffee, whatever it is, Mako,
What the hell?
Mako or whatever that's called.
Heroic drinks pink coffee. I'm starting to
Oh,
wonder about that, dude.
well, I forget what the heck the name of it. It's
You
some weird
know,
coffee. It was a TikTok phase. Everybody went out and bought this weird.
TikTok or not, I'm not drinking pink coffee. I'm sorry.
uh, but anyways, you cut all that stuff out, and then the next month you can use that money to start getting stuff. And my second one would probably be, uh, don't blow all your money right off the bat the first month, because then you're going to start freaking out because you have no money for the rest of the month, and then you're
Yeah.
going to say, oh, this is a bad idea, we shouldn't do it anymore. Because believe it or not, that usually happens. When people start prepping for the first time, they go at it really hard and they buy a bunch of stuff, and then we don't have any money. Then they stop doing it after that because they think they can't afford it that way.
I'm gonna say something. I got payday coming up, and I can do it. I want to. How many live under your roof, Bushcraft? Two.
Yep, just two.
Okay. I'm gonna say, and there's two here in my house. I'm sitting here trying to think real damn fast. My mind ain't woke up yet. For 1 week, let's go $20 for two people. That's the challenge I'm gonna put out there. Just
Well,
to
I can do
see.
that. I can do that easy.
Yeah,
I'll just go
but
down and eat my preps for a week.
no, 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 no. I'm
What?
talking about going to the store, picking out stuff. I don't care what store you go to. You can go to Dollar General, you can go to Family Dollar, you can go to Dollar Tree. Do not spend over $20 for two people for 1 week. And
Um,
I mean, it can be done
oh,
because
I could
on
do it.
on 101, he put a challenge out $15 a week, for one person. I got enough stuff off of $15. Me and my wife could eat 1 week comfortably on $15. But we're talking about people starting out comfortably, $20. The people starting out really ain't gonna know how to do this. But you
I
know,
have to say one thing. Milo sweet tea is really good. I like that tea. I don't drink it anymore, but because I had to cut out caffeine and all that stuff. But yeah, I used to love Milo's tea. Now
yeah.
they have Milo's lemonade. I got
Oh,
some of that, and it was well sweet.
I don't think I've heard of Milo's. Now I may be
Well, you
wrong.
should, because Homestead Aquarius is in Alabama, so you should have seen it down south. It usually comes in a
24.
gallon jug.
Okay, okay, okay. 24 indictments were handed down a few months ago.
Yeah. Also, I'm not going to say it, but a certain person involved with the guy who mysteriously died. She got 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to, because that's a bad subject.
That can get us taken down. So, next
Oh,
subject, please.
yeah. Okay. Now, the first or the third thing on the list, I would say, um, what's what what is the first two things of you can't live without?
Water and air.
Well, you got it backwards, but yeah, air and then water.
Well,
Yeah.
you didn't say we had to come up with it in a certain order.
Well, yeah, air. They say 3 minutes. I know some people can hold their breath longer than 3 minutes, but
Then
then
you did.
water is 3 days, and I think you can go 3 weeks
3.
or longer without food.
Yeah. I mean, still, it's a triangle. It's what it is. You take one away, the rest fall. It's like air, oxygen, and I can't remember the other one. But you take one of them away, and it's gone. Just like what
Yeah.
we just said. Food, water, and air.
Hey, Be Charming. I didn't see you sneak in here. Freedom Rain.
it, it,
Um, and I next thing is kind of obvious. Say say your family can't stand eating beans. Well, don't go and buy 50 pounds of beans if nobody's going to eat it. I mean, if you had to, I bet you if you got hungry enough, you would eat beans if
I
you can't
guarantee
stand
you.
them. But um, you want to be you kind of want to be comfortable. You don't want to be stressed when things bad happen. The whole shift thing. But yeah, if all possible, prep what you eat. Don't prep something you don't like.
Right. I mean, I got 3 or 4 cans of treat, but I guarantee you one thing: they're going to be the last things I open.
Oh yeah,
You know, it like Bushcraft said, don't go out and buy something you don't like just because it's got a long shelf life.
yeah,
Go out and get what you want or what you can eat first.
yeah. You don't like beans, but you eat spaghetti or something. Well, can spaghetti, spaghetti sauce, and then you have pasta. Then boom, there you go.
Yeah.
And that'll last a long time.
Well, pasta
um,
can last what? Guaranteed 2 meals and what? 2 days at the most, maybe 3.
Pasta,
Yeah.
you can store pasta and it'll last probably a good 10 years.
Are
If
we
it's
talking about the sauce or are we talking about
well, the
the.
pasta itself, the noodles.
Yeah.
If you store it right, it'll last. It'll last 10 or 20 years, depending.
Okay.
And
Now, me and you, we know how to store a whole bunch of stuff that we talk about.
yeah,
For the people who really don't know how to store, how would you store pasta? And I'm not
um,
trying to say this to be a smart aleck about it.
well, there.
Hush up.
It depends. If you have a large family and stuff, you would prep like 32 ounces in the Mylar bags. Um, Again, freeze it.
Yeah.
Pasta you won't have to. It don't have to be in there that long, and then either oxygen absorbers or vacuum seal it. Pasta lasts a long time. Um, Now, like I said, spaghetti sauce. You just fry up your hamburger and do your tomato paste. Make spaghetti sauce, and then you put it in your canning jars and uh, pressure seal them and all that stuff. And pasta will last a good while. I mean, pasta sauce.
Can I
Spaghetti
say
sauce.
something to that real fast?
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes. I mean, regardless.
Yeah.
My mistake was I added a half a teaspoon of salt to each jar of pasta like he said to. About a week later, I popped top on one, heated it up, and we had spaghetti. We threw it away. Too much salt.
Oh yeah.
So,
Um, Yeah, and like they, because it multiplies whatever you put in there. So if you like garlic, then put a clove in there, and it'll. I mean, you can taste the garlic in it.
yeah. So it come down to this right here. If salt's going to be added, it's going to be added on my plate. I'm not putting
Oh
salt,
yeah,
as I can. I'm sorry. One bad experience taught me, and that was, well, 2 quarts of pasta sauce that got wasted. So you learn. You're going to learn. And if you're canning for the first season, break down one jar
yep.
of everything that you have canned. Try it. See how it is. If that one jar is bad, chances are rest of it's going to be bad. So you're going to make mistakes. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. What Tony said, you can also use jars. Jars are very expensive now, though. Which I think Marlar bags are getting just as expensive now. Um, Another thing is, don't think, oh, I can be a prepper now. Uh, I can all just prep canned goods. Um, Canned goods is fine, but there's other things. You dehydrate your vegetables. There's the freeze dried stuff. There's dry goods, um, flour, cornmeal, all the baking things, um, salt and sugar, real important stuff. And yeah, salt is real important.
Oh, it'd be a barter item if you
Yeah.
do it right. Any spice.
Spices, um, like there's coming this year, probably toward the end of the year, garlic powder is going to be scarce because of all the fires in uh, New Mexico and uh, Texas. The garlic and onion farms were wiped out, the whole crop. So, yep. And there's another one, vinegar. Vinegar's real good.
Right.
Make sure you don't store it on concrete and keep it in a cool, dry place.
I would say right now, if you can, go ahead and go out and get you some pallets, rework them. Close them gaps up in those pallets. It may take 2 pallets to make one. Put them down on the floor to keep everything off the floor. you know,
Just make sure it's not treated, or it's
correct.
not. You have to. You can almost smell it, and I know it sounds weird going up to a pallet or a skid and smelling it, but if it has an aroma of a chemical on it,
It's
don't even
true.
bring it in your house or wherever you store your food. That's the same. That can corrode like um, your water containers, and I use 5 gallon water containers. If you put any plastic on even gas cans, and I see a lot of people doing this, they'll have all their neatly rowed gas cans on concrete or cement floors, however you want to call it. But um, and if it's there for a certain amount of time, the chemicals inside the the cement will come up through the plastic, and it'll erode the plastic and weaken it. Hey, TJ.
Home, Homestead Aquarius, you were right. Uh, she broke it down to me. I meant 3 meals for cooked pasta, can last a week, you know, but
Hey, Jimmy
without no
Ninja.
refrigeration at the time, I don't know how long it would last. Hello, Miss TJ.
Homestead Haas.
And I don't know if anybody has heard, but this morning I kind of got a news alert. There is another food processing plant closing in Campbell County, Tennessee.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know when it's closing. I've not checked into it, but
I think there's been 13 this week, and I know it's only Tuesday.
damn, when does the
And
week start?
Monday. Well, some people say it starts Sunday, but I always start because Monday's that day.
First day back to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've said this before. This is the next one I would say is don't put all your preps in one spot, not one room or anything like that. I know that there's some people have nice shelves and everything's stored in one room. Um,
I'm gonna go one.
have some backup stuff in other rooms. Um, and I found this
Other
odd
building.
that I was like one of the only people that stored food under my bed. I mean, it's a perfect spot. You hardly put anything under your bed. So
I never heard of that.
you never heard.
I
I bet.
never heard of
Wait. I bet you TJ has food under her bed. Her
I'm not
prep.
gonna get that. But you
Let,
see, I
let,
heard
let's let's see.
that last week, you know.
Hey,
And
Craig.
please, if you are a creator and whatever, do not show what you have. You know.
Yeah. See, told you.
Now, I just got one more question that entered my mind. How many bedrooms does she have? you know, but and my prepping 101. Hello, sir.
Hey, Previn.
You know, it. I saw something. Somebody had took a metal trash can.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. 101. Kind of little bit. I'm not as brave as you are. I'm in enough trouble with YouTube.
But they took a metal trash can, lined it up, and buried it in the ground. They put potatoes in it, you know, stuff to keep cool. And what they was doing, unless he said, what happens if a grid went down, you ain't got no refrigerator? And that was one way. And it come back to me. That's what Daddy used to do when he was a youngin', was bury stuff in the ground.
Yeah.
But he lived up in the mountains. And if you're not a mountain person and you go up there and you jump in the river, your ass is coming back out real fast. That water cold. He
and
said,
here's a good point right here that you can burn a piece of your pellets where you get them at stuff, and you can tell by the color of the flame and whatnot, or
yeah.
Or if the wood foams and stuff, it means it's got chemicals in it. If the smell test doesn't work.
There you go. 101, have you done any checking today? Because there's about 4 or 5 new ones on there.
Oh, that's something else. The indictments.
The what?
The indictments you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something else.
Oh no. I was talking about okay, keyboards.
Oh.
There's 101, there's times I dislike you. Now you got me looking into something.
I've done that before, and old refrigerators.
Yeah, you don't want to take a good one and do it.
No, I mean, it's better than just dumping them somewhere or having somebody come get them.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much stuff you can store in one of those.
Well,
and very airtight.
Yes. Well, matter of fact, if you want to get right down to it, gut a dishwasher and bury one. You want to talk about airtight? Shit, put some stuff in there, come a flood. It'll be dry when water recedes.
Oh, that's good news. Yeah, I was going to say, was this during the troubles you guys were having down there? Yeah, there's a lot of them got thrown in jail.
What's going on? I'm if it can get said.
This is Australia.
Okay.
Because they were blocking them from doing live streams and uploading to YouTube, and there's a lot of stuff they were blocking during
pandemic
when they're trying to get they're trying to force people to get juiced and all that stuff. A lot of that stuff, and they got put in jail for it.
I know one phrase you ain't hearing now. My choice, my body, or my body, my choice. You don't hear that no more. What happened?
Really? That's all they're saying now. My body, my choice.
But you didn't hear that 6 to 8 months ago like you hearing it now.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, we were the ones saying it back then, and they called us
peons,
names and stuff.
Well, If just remember, if you can wear a mask for 2 years, you can wear a condom for 2 minutes. Damn, that didn't come out right.
I guess next one would be um, how did I put this? Well, there's more than prepping than storing food because anybody can store food, and
Shift kicker, you
there's
right.
a lot of skills that go along with that with the word prepping. I think because anybody can store a bunch of food. Well, I won't say anybody, but you know, hey, Ark man, Ark Wild Man, Ark man.
Hello, sir. He slipped right past me. Ginger Ninja. Yeah, I said it last week. Just because you got a whole bunch of stuff stored up or whatever, don't necessarily make you a prepper. You got to know how to do this right. You've got to know how to use what you got. You know,
That's like you know, there's these comedies and movies that come out and or that they go out camping and they bring a bunch of canned food and stuff. They get to the campgrounds and it's time to eat, but nobody brought the can opener. It's kind of like that. It's or you have a can opener, but how do you cook it on a open fire?
exactly. And well, you made a statement a while back ago, and I will say I have done this. When you're cooking on a campfire, don't cook when there's flames going. Make sure your coals are good and hot and everything. That's where your cooking comes in. Craig the Hunter's in the house.
We got Craig's Catfish Cave.
Yeah. You sure it's a catfish and not a snapper now? I've always wondered about those people going noodling for catfish, and they right there at the banks. Man, if they reached their hand in there and grabbed a snapper,
Oh
no.
well, that you. The thing is, you feel around with it with your feet until you find one, and then you get down there and grab it. I mean that they tear up your arm. Oh man.
yeah, they do. Practice
See,
cook.
Shift Kicker's done it.
I,
I would say that the next
you
one
got,
would be hygiene. Don't forget about hygiene,
oh God.
uh, because you don't clean yourself, you might end up with some
Bacteria.
diseases and stuff that you don't want.
Yeah,
Uh,
but you don't want to be the only guy out there in the woods amongst the other guys smelling all peachy and rosy either.
why would I be out in the woods with a bunch of guys?
Yeah, but when the grid goes down and you out there looking for food and everything, you know, you can be, hey, I smell powder. I wonder where that's coming from. I smell this, you know.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to smell like something like. I mean, if you haven't took a bath in 2 months and you're hiding in the woods, and somebody walks by, they're going to smell you.
Well, no doubt, no doubt.
And I'm not saying take a bath in uh, lilacs and other flowers and stuff.
Let's go on to the next subject.
Next one would be medication.
Yes.
Don't forget that stuff, because there's people that insulin and like Shift Kicker, she had to use a EpiPen because she got stung by a bee. You got to prep for that stuff, and I know that stuff is real expensive, which is ridiculous.
You know shit. But for diabetics, if at all possible, talk to your doctor and see if they can do a 6 months, 3 months.
It has nothing to do with the doctor.
Well, no, what I'm saying
It's
is
insurance. Believe it or not, they just write the prescriptions. The people who would know is where you get your prescriptions filled, because they'll look it up and say how much you can actually, the max that you can get. And normally it's 3 months, unless you have a really good insurance. It's going to only be 3 months.
Well, now I personally, I'll go up, and if I need something and I'm starting to run low and they say the insurance won't take care of it, I ask them, how much is it without the insurance? Normally, it's pocket change, but I will agree. I'm on one right now. Well, I'm on a couple of them that cost about $600 to $800. There's no way in God's earth I can pull that. I can pull that out of my back pocket.
Your wife would have to rent you out for a couple of days.
Couple of weeks.
That's good. Good to know.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta watch out for them bees when you're watering your garden.
They just got that bee that Lake had this morning. That was not no yellow jacket.
Yeah, it was yellow jacket.
We call them Japanese hornets down here.
That wasn't that big.
That was one of the biggest dead burned yellow jackets I ever seen in my life.
That was small.
Nah.
Yep. And you know something is funny though, in different countries you go to, you can see the price hike or how cheap the stuff is.
Yeah.
There's some places that the same medicine is like, it's marked up by 200, 300, 400%.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have somebody that was fighting them, but now we have a potato.
Time to fry him up.
Next tip would probably be for those who have critters, your pets, or those who have farms.
Hello, Joe.
Stocking up on feed. Hey, Joe. Good to see you.
I think I was born a century too late, maybe a couple of them. I do believe I would have been better back in the 1870s.
Oh, yeah. I would loved it back then.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would be a mountain man and stuff.
Well,
I think I would have wanted to be before the Wild West times. I mean, I would probably been good at that, but I think I would have rather been. Um,
You talk about Daniel Boone time back before him.
yeah, kind of. You know, Lewis and Clark when they were
Okay.
exploring stuff, and you had people going out there and doing getting skins from beavers and things like that.
Okay,
I
I
would have
get.
loved it back then. I mean, because you put me out in the woods, I'll stay out there for as long as I can.
I feel safer in the woods than I do about anywhere else. I
Yeah.
really do. And back in my day, I mean, okay, in my youngin' days, you give me some woods, that's where I'm at. That's where you're going to
Oh yeah.
find me if you can. You know.
That's what when I, whenever my dad would get in trouble or something, and I would get sent back to Ohio with my grandpa for some reason. Um, he lived in Ohio. There's it's a famous coal mine that exploded, and my grandpa lost two of his brothers there.
Mm.
And he was actually the only one that survived it because he had a temperature of 106, and he went back to his house, which was right next to the mine, and then he heard a boom, and then he had to go in and carry out, I think it was 86 miners. They
Damn.
were all dead.
Well, you know,
And yeah, there's a plaque there and everything. But that's where I grew up. There climbing on the old mines, what was left of it and stuff, because it was all burnt and whatnot. The office buildings were all, you know, corroded and stuff. But behind it was a mountain, and it was nothing but woods, and that's where that was my playground.
yeah, you know, my playground was all dried up creek beds, or like you said, you know, the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
And the men back then had more testosterone than what they do than what we got today. You know, it's crying
Yeah.
shame how technology is good, but it's bad at the same time.
Okay, there's something we need to address here real quick in chat. Let's see if we can get Arc Wild Man a few more subs and comment. Please comment on a video. That way it sticks because he only needs three more to get to 2,000, which he should have a lot more than 2,000. But we'll get him to try to get him to 2,000 today. If you're not subscribed to him, go over there and subscribe to him, please. He's a great guy. Anything you want to know about wild edibles or cooking outside, he's the
That's
guy.
you doggone right. Harvest Mary Moon. I will not say the name of the river here in North Carolina because I don't want it to get polluted or nothing else. Before the gold strike in California, North Carolina, I'm not going to say was but it was one of the states that was producing gold pretty good. And I lived within walking distance of that river. I could go fishing in there. I could go swimming or whatever. But panning for gold never fazed me one bit. I just wanted to get away. It was hot. I wanted to go swimming, which a lot of times I went swimming by myself, and they say that's a mistake. which it is. But panning for gold, no, I never did unless I went to the mountains.
No, it's in Millfield, Ohio. It's like I said, 86 people died in that mine, and my grandpa was one of the first ones in. And story go, who I'm named after, which his name was Charlie. I don't know if it was short for Charles or not. I can't remember, but he had to go in there, and would have been my great uncles, I guess. One of them was sitting there with his lunch pail in his hand, and his head was completely gone.
Severed.
Yep. And
did
so
they
many parts and stuff, and it was bad.
Damn.
Very, very, very seldom my grandpa would talk about it. Usually when he had too much to drink, because he made his own moonshine. So,
that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Did they recover everybody?
Parts and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the actual name, but it's in Millfield, Ohio. Yeah, I can't. I think it was a Millfield disaster or something like that. Yeah, it was. If I remember right, it was 86 people. Pretty much boom. And this would have been probably 20s or 30s. So yeah, because I believe it was before my dad was born. Or they were real little. Oh, let's see here. And this kind of goes a good tip, because try not to be the only prepper in the family. So if you're married and your kids are there, it's always good to get everybody involved in it. Because it's not good if you're fighting with your spouse about, well, that one says, oh, that's stupid, you're a conspiracy person, we're going to be okay. And I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice to be the only prepper, and it's always good to get them involved in it. And somehow, some cases you can't. Some cases you're just going to have to do it for everybody else in your family, in the household.
And that's the sad thing.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it takes longer.
And the other one was, what Jeff already said. Don't tell everybody your preps. I mean, I can say I'm a prepper, and I've showed some things, like I showed you, like me going to the dollar store and buying stuff. But I've never showed like
all of it,
my stuff. I've showed me putting a lot of stuff in a bucket, and I never showed you where I buried it, stuff like that. That's great, especially when you get your kids involved in it. Um, they grow up to be preppers.
I think every household throughout the years, well, it ain't no I think. I know every household throughout the years has had preppers. Look at your grandma. Look at her mama. You know, they had jars of stuff up on the shelves from when they was coming up. They'll pop a top and hey, it's still good. You know, green beans, what, 40, 45 years. I saw a video today where they was canning back in early 70s. Square jars. Who would have thought of square jars? They popped top on green beans, cooked it up. Hey, it tastes just like they put them in there.
Yeah.
You know, you've got, if you're not exactly sure on how to can, don't just go in there and do it. Go to YouTube, go to your websites. I can't think of the names of them that tell you
Ball.
how long to can stuff for, how much water to put in your canner. Water bath and canning are totally two different things. One's for
Mhm.
high acid, the other's for low acid.
Oh, darn it! I was gonna quiz. I
I'm
was gonna
sorry.
quiz. I was gonna say, who can tell me what's the difference between water bathing and pressure cannon?
Okay. Well, they still don't know the difference. I've not broke that down yet, you know. So if you want to, go ahead and still do your quiz, you know.
And that's really good right there. I mean, how many people has done that before? I mean, honestly, that has broke, and it's not like a fish. Some people think that if I've been fishing and I've cleaned out a fish before, I can do a deer or whatever. Um, how many people has actually um, broken down a deer or squirrel or a rabbit?
I've done a chicken and I've done a squirrel. Okay. I've never been deer hunting. I'm not going to,
Really?
yeah, I hate to say it, but I've ate deer. I know how to cook deer. Uh, I mean, I've had deer walk through my yard. I've had a rifle in hand ready to take him down, but my problem is I don't know how to process one. I'm not going to waste the meat because I don't know how.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple ways, and I'm not saying that legal way or whatnot, but there is a speedy process to this, which I've had females get mad at me before because I take things out of a refrigerator and I stick
In bags.
parts of deer in there. I mean, hindquarters, backstrap, ribs, and everything. Stick it in there. Let it age inside the refrigerator. If you don't have the process of in the wintertime of letting it hang, um, you don't have to do that, but it's better. Um, Same thing if you get squirrel or something, you soak it in salt water. It pulls out some of the stuff.
Sniffers in the house.
Hey,
Hey,
Sniffer.
sir, long time no talk to. Come think about it. He must be back.
Yeah. and that's a thing there, which there are laws. If you do hit a deer, sometimes it is against the law to actually pick it up and take it home.
Yeah, there's got to be a report on it.
Yeah.
You know.
In some states they don't care. I mean, which it saves taxpayer money because
Well,
they have
now,
to have somebody come out and move alongside the road.
well, now down here in the state of North Carolina, if you do hit a deer, the highway patrol will say, "What do you want to do with it? Do you want to take it yourself or have state come pick it up?" You know,
Yeah.
a lot of hunters will say, "Throw it in the trunk or throw it on back of the truck." You know,
Yep.
it.
I've went down the road and hit a squirrel just right. Not saying I was aiming, but it happened, and I pulled over side road to hurry up and grabbed it. And some people may think that, oh, that's gross, roadkill. Well, or if you see it happening, and it just hits, they get flat head, then the rest of them's good.
Well, I'm like this. If you're going down the road and it's on the road and it's dead, but it ain't flat, hey, it's still good.
No, I can't say I've skinned a armadillo before. I heard they're packed with a lot of diseases though.
We ain't got them here in North Carolina.
It's like I guess it would kind of be like a possum.
Fuzzy fork. Beverly Hillbillies would eat that roadkill squirrel.
Oh yeah, I mean I've done it. I mean, if you see it happening and stuff, not like if it's been sitting in the hot sun all day or something like that, but if you see it and it just banged in and
if it just happened.
Yeah.
But then again, you can't just eat wild meat and expect to survive. You can't do it.
Oh no, they take one person needs at least 2 acres of land, and that's not guaranteed either. So
not now.
And the way things are, it's probably more than you need more than that.
Now, coming up, I was showed and taught how to process chicken. Okay. I'll snatch a chicken up in a heartbeat, put them in a pot. I'll do a squirrel the same way. Wife don't like squirrel, but I'm like this. If she don't know what she's eating, she'll eat it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. My daddy went up a road and bought some stew. And it was that type of stew, the more you ate, the more you wanted. I loved it. Daddy come in the house, he said, "How's that goat stew?" My wife got sick. I ate I ate it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good. It's like you take deer, and I'm going to say steak, okay? There is a way to cook deer that tastes good, no doubt about it. And there are people who will just throw it on the grill and cook it and call it done. To me, anytime you put a steak or roast something in your mouth, the more you chew, the bigger it gets. It ain't good. And I know a lot of people know what I'm talking about, especially bushcraft.
Well, I know one of the best things I've fixed and ate is You do it all in one skillet. It's a big cast iron skillet right on the fire.
Yep.
You take you start with bacon. Um, get your bacon going and get you some good amount of bacon grease going in there, and then you um, stick your rabbit in, a whole rabbit if you want, or you can have it quartered and all that stuff. But you flip it over, you brown it on both sides, take it out, and then make your gravy. Put your potatoes in there, carrots, whatever else you want in there, and then you put your rabbit back in with the gravy and potatoes and stuff, and you simmer that thing on the open fire. Oh, best rabbit you'll ever eat.
I've ate rabbit. Lord have mercy. You right.
That's the best way I've ate. You can do the same thing with a squirrel, but you need a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, to me, when it comes to meat, all right, the slower you cook it, the better it's going to be.
Oh yeah,
Straight up. I don't care what meat it is or who you are.
I bet you Ark Wildman's got a good rabbit recipe. Bunny balls are amazing.
You saw what Fuzzy Fork posted. Well, I saw a thing on Facebook the other day. My wife pointed it out. As kids, it's hard to believe that we ate ice cream out of toilet paper wrappers. You think about it.
Push up.
Push ups. Yep. Think about it. That toilet paper.
It's a Scooby Doo push up. They're orange.
Yeah. But boy, they tasted good, didn't they?
Oh yeah. It sucked when you got to the bottom of it. You got pop. You hit that pop, and it was all gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Watching her laughing.
Yep, fishing's good. And if you can get to a good body of water, you can make fish last a good while. And everybody, they have something wrong. They don't like carp. It's a garbage fish or whatever you want to call it. But
so is a mud cat.
I mean, you get a good sized carp, and you can do 10, 15 and the thing, you can can that stuff, and you put the bones and everything in there. When you pressure can that, the bones go soft, and you chew them up just like normal. You don't even taste them in the meat. And that is some of the best fish that you will get is carp that's been pressure can in its own juice. You don't have to put water or anything in there. Just put the fish in there, big chunks of it, and just pressure can it. Some of the best stuff you'll eat. A lot of people will throw the fish alongside on the banks. Oh yeah, carp. I mean, if I was to try to eat it like a regular way, I wouldn't, because it's real tough and it's chewy. But when you pressure can it turns out really good.
Now, I've never heard nobody pressure canning carp. I've always heard people talk about it.
There's somebody that I watched it and did it. I can't remember his name now. I mean, that's where I got it from. I don't have any left, but because you can hardly catch them over in this lake that's not too far from here because of all the growth that's in there. Because you pull out a 10-pound carp and you drag 30 pounds of grass and growth with it.
You need to come down here where I live. My son-in-law's catching 40 and 50, 60-pound carp
Yeah.
out of the river. You know, you could now. I'm the type. I love river fishing. I really do. I'm the type that will walk in the river to fish. I've got, 10, 12-pound bass swimming around my legs, and they won't bite the hook, but you can reach down in there and snatch one out. You know, yeah. Fishing is relaxing.
Oh
Fishing
yeah.
is also surviving. You know, but just remember, don't take more than you can eat because you're wasting food for one thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, but a carp, the only way I've ever heard of people eating carp is they'll take the cutting board where they clean the carp, they'll throw the carp away and cook up the cutting board.
Yeah. I mean, just go down and catch a small one, like a 3 4 pounder, 5 pounder, whatever, and clean it out and just cut that thing. And you got to scale it and all that stuff, but and just cut that thing up. Use a cleaver and chop it up in bits and put and can it like you would chicken. But
There, when I was young, and I'm gonna say probably 13, 14 years old, I saw a program and they showed them catching a fish, and they went out in the river and they got the river mud. You know, they put it in the shirts and everything. They packed it out, put the fish in it, scales and all. They packed it up. They got the fire real hot and everything. But then they put the mud and the fish and all in the coals, and they cooked it like that. And when they pulled it out, they pulled the mud off of it. The scales and the skin come off with it, and you can sit there and eat the meat out of it. And so I went down to the river and tried it, and if it didn't work. That was the last time I done that too.
yeah, and oh look at that. That's a very good point. And Jeff, do you know why?
Weebles,
Huh?
weebles.
Well, yeah, the bugs, but fleas. Fleas are bad on rabbits during the summer months and stuff. But yeah,
Okay. Now weevils are real bad in squirrels too.
yeah,
You know. And the way I've always heard it, the way my daddy told me, is let it frost a couple of times, and
yeah,
that way you get rid of all the weevils. And that's bugs that get in between the skin and the meat when you skinning one. It kills
yeah.
them all. So, but if I'm out in the woods and I'm starving, I don't care what time of the year it is. Them weevils will probably get cooked up too.
Well, you won't be careful of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, guys, it's past the hour time, so I hope there was a couple things in there that might have helped out or something like that.
Yeah, I think 101's going live tonight.
Yep. You can. Here's his. If it's gonna work, come on, click. That's here in probably 45 minutes or so.
Oh,
He usually starts early, so
Yeah, he says he goes live at 10 minutes after 9, but here lately it's about a quarter till 9.
And tomorrow I've got a surprise guest. Um, not so much from our community type. It's I mean they're preppers and all, but I haven't seen them in any of the chats or anything around here. So hopefully we can jump over and get more people over on, kind of mingle out a little bit. So I think
Like a crossover.
yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Because I've been on not on his streams, but we talked during when he goes live and his wife and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a good live.
Well, now I've seen you.
Like I said, I don't know if too many people is storm of truth preparedness. I don't know if anybody knows them or not, but like I said, tomorrow 7:00, I'll be doing a get to know you type thing like I have been doing. So we'll see you tomorrow. If not, me and Jeff will be back on his channel Thursday, 7:00.
Well, what time you going live tomorrow?
7:00.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well stick to the same time.
Hey, it works for me.
Yeah.
That way I can get my pre-nap out.
And if we don't see you tonight on 101s, we'll catch you guys later.